Hi everyone, this is Professor Sanchez, and I want to talk a little bit about the essays you will write for this class. These are worth a lot of your grade, so you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward with these. This example that I'm going to show to you is the start of an essay, so it's not the complete thing, but it will give you an idea of what I'm looking for. Excuse me. In terms of structure for these essays, the most important thing is probably that you start with your thesis statement. So whatever your thesis statement was from the outline, maybe I've given you some feedback on it, you want to start out with just your thesis. For this type of paper, we don't need to do an introduction or anything like that. We want to just get right to the heart of the analysis. So you'll see I have my thesis here. This paper is about how in Sonnet 2, Shakespeare utilizes imagery to demonstrate that aging of the body does not age the soul. All right, so in your outline you had 4 quotations. So here's a quotation, and as I said, this paper isn't complete. And here are my other 2 quotations. So I just sort of double spaced the page, and then I'm going to fill in the blanks around the quotations. So we're going to start here with the first one, and what I'm going to do is introduce the quotation with a signal phrase with some context. That is here. It says, Shakespeare opens the poem by looking to the future, when the body has endured life and begins to age, proposing, then I have the quotation, when 40 winters shall but besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field. I also have a citation here giving the line number. All right, so that's a good start. We have an introduction to the line, then we have the quotation of the line. Notice that if there is a line break, if you're doing a poem, you put this backslash in between where the line would break. Okay, then after that, I'm not done. Then I have to analyze how this line connects back to my thesis. So this line is going to tie into aging of the body. So we're going to start there and later shift in the paper to how that does not age the soul. All right. So as you can see, the whole rest of this paragraph is my analysis of this quotation connecting it to my thesis. Let's read it together. So I have, when 40 winters shall besiege thy brow and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field. Here, Shakespeare uses the image of a field. Remember, we're talking about imagery. So if your paper is about imagery or symbol or whatever it's about, you want to use that word and zero in on images or symbols or whatever it is you're writing about. Okay, so Shakespeare uses the image of a field to show the toll of aging on the body. And I'm going to explain further. As people age, the body begins to wrinkle, and Shakespeare focuses on the face with the image of 40 winters, I'm quoting that from here, having an effect on the brow, again here. Or in other words, all those years and seasons, particularly the most stressful one for plants, winter. He goes on to say that these seasons dig deep trenches on beauty's field, meaning time creates wrinkles on the smooth face of our youth, which is associated with physical beauty. All right, so that's the basic structure I'm looking for here. You introduce the quotation, you have the quotation and the citation, and then you analyze it. So here's the start to the next paragraph. I'm going to introduce the quotation. Shakespeare then shifts to the value we place on this disintegrated sense of beauty. Thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed of small worth held. So then I'm going to continue to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the image of a tattered weed and how we view a tattered weed in our society. What is a tattered weed? What does it look like? We don't value that as much as the flower, right? Or the original green bursting from the earth. As time goes on, here's this weed that's dying and tattered, and we don't value it anymore, right? So shifting from the effects of age on the body to the meaning we put into that. And then I haven't gotten to the rest of the paper yet. I just wanted to give you an example. Then here I'm going to shift a little bit more, talking about where does beauty lie, and talking about the idea of sunken eyes and the image of treasure. And then for the last, I'm going to talk about the warm blood and the feeling of cold. in these lines and bring it back around to my thesis statement in that even though the beauty fades as we age, the beauty of the soul doesn't die, and it's not aged in the same way. All right, I hope this is helpful. You want to have at least 2 full pages for this. So if you look at my structure so far, I have about a half a page for each paragraph, perhaps. So that will help you to kind of meet your goal if you set that up as sort of a template for yourself. All right, good luck, everybody.